Good afternoon. Let's talk about why you can't find jobs these days. A lot of you, whether you're paying for it yourself or you're like the mother and the father, who've done good for themselves, they sent their kids to college, and their kids has done good in college, and they got 4.0 grades and all that, and they're applying for jobs. Maybe they've graduated from MIT and they're applying for jobs, and they're not even getting an interview. How devastating is that? That's terrible. First, let's pull a little blurb up. My name's Virgil Beerswell. My Senate campaign website is vbsenate.com. If you haven't looked at it, you ought to look at it because it's your future we're fighting for. Here's how you can contact me. Email me at vbeers@gmail.com. Now, in the old days, back in the 1990s, the early 2000s, to get a job at a company, you could either apply to the company directly, or you could go to one of the contracting companies like Robert Half or EDP or Maxim Group or the Systems Group, any of those people. And you could take one of their contracts. A lot of their contracts were contract to perm, so that was a good way to get in. Then there's the old guys like me. All I ever want to do is contract. That way I could go out and make some big money, and then I can go back to Harper for a while and try and survive down there where I really wanted to be at. But there was no jobs there. So I would go out and take their money and then come back. I was never really interested in a full-time job. But a lot of people, that's all they want is a full-time job. Now, a lot of those things like EDP and the System Group, Maxim Group, they're gone. They've been bought out, acquired, disappeared, went out of business, I don't know what. And it seems the companies don't really want you to apply for to work there no more. They've gotten so big, too big for their britches, that they're thumbing their nose at you. Now, these companies are still hiring. But you, the American, you can apply all day long on Indeed or LinkedIn or any of them places. You're still not getting interviewed. You're not getting hired. Well, there's a reason that is. There's a ton of reasons. And I call it the H-1B mafia, cartels, fraudsters, scammers, whatever you want to call them. But you can go out and look at this. Here's a guy named Ramakrishna, representing E-Planet Consultants. My bench candidate hot list. Now, folks, it's illegal for an H-1B to be benched. The bench means they're not getting paid because they're not working. If I understand it right, they're supposed to go back to India when they're on the bench, but they're not doing it. This guy's out here trying to find work for them, apparently. And all this stuff, net developer, business data engineer. I work with data all day long, every day. QA lead, data engineer, DevOps, Scrum Master, Data Engineer, ETL Developer, Data Engineer. All these are jobs that anybody can do if they want to do them. That fresh out of college kid that's got the raw materials and needs to be mentored, be a perfect candidate for a lot of these jobs. Some good old boy or white girl, take them under their wings, help them grow, teach them the ropes. These kids would do good. And they'd pay it back later on by doing the same to the next generation of kids. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is these talent acquisition specialists, supposedly working out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but most likely if you call them, you end up somebody in India, are finding all the opportunities. And they're not taking white boy applications. And this ain't the only one. Hell, we got plenty of examples. You see all these things here from Liam Haggerty? He's using H-1B jobs direct to apply for jobs directly. A lot of them. Right here's another hot list. That's what I'm looking for. This one is Karishma Shalik, working a bench sales recruiter at Ancili Incorporated. Excellent consultants. Please find my hot list. If you have any requirements in corporate, let me know. Add my mail ID to your database so I can see your daily requirements. In other words, they're passing all these jobs around behind the scenes, out of sight of Americans. And that's why people are sending me this. They want to let me know what's going on. And I use it to let you know what's going on. All these deals here are visas, all H-1Bs. Here's one green card. Not a citizen. Oh, they might be a citizen by now. Depends. Been here 13 years experience. But the point is, you, the white boy or white girl, are not even considered for these jobs. Are you beginning to understand now why your kids can't find a job? Myself, I'm getting to think we should set up a database where we capture every one of these companies and we develop a history of what they're doing, what their list is, what different names they use. We can do it if we want to. We can database these suckers so damn fast, and then we can make it easy uh, for the Assistant Attorney General or me to view this list at any time. I don't really have the time for it right now, but I'm thinking about doing it. Unless one of you guys and gals wants to step up and do it. Be a good worldly project. Find these bastards out. Seek them out. Expose them. Let's find ways to make it where they can't do business in America. Get the Department of Labor involved. If you can ever get old Lori Chavez or whatever her name is to quit doing photo opportunities, you might be able to get something out of the Department of Labor, but I doubt it because I've written tens of thousands of emails and never even got a response from them bastards. Anyway, I want you to think about that because these are the why you can't find jobs. As always, there's my email. I'm available. I'm running for senator. I want to hear what your job problems are, why you can't find jobs, why your family can't find jobs. I want to understand what I can do as a senator from Texas in Washington, D.C. for America and Texas. I want to know. I really need your help getting in there because I guarantee you old John Cornyn, he don't give a shit about your future. He could care less. Ken Paxton, he ain't no better. Colin Allred, I doubt if he even knows what's going on. The only one that's even discussing jobs and your future is me. So let's pull this up. There's my campaign website, vbsenate.com. It's actually virgilbirchall.com, but I knew most of y'all would have a hard time spelling it. So I made it easy. vbsenate.com. Virgil Birchall's the name. Jobs is my game. One of the gals on here on Twitter told me I should start calling myself Virgil the Jobs Guy. And that's all I've done for 22 years is focus on jobs and the opportunity. The opportunity being the opportunity for you to climb your way up the ladder. So it's kind of stuck with me. That's what I'm campaigning for. Virgil the Jobs Guy. Texas Senator. Representing you in Washington, D.C. Because none of these other bastards will even give a damn about your future. Anyway, I appreciate it. As they say, like and subscribe and share my videos, share my tweets, whatever it is. Let's get the word out somehow. Let's win this election. Thank you. Good day.